Tippy time my enemies, Top Cat here and welcome back to the channel. We took a look at a Void Tank Titan last week and a few of y'all found it a little hard to go back to the OG. So I wanted to take another swing at our Prismatic monster as it can offer us a bit more offense than our Void melees can. Again, we're abusing that unbreakable aspect. We hold Grenade to summon that meaty Void shield that draws in all that hostile fire, tanking all that damage that's thrown at you. This gradually drains your grenade energy over time and grants you an overshield over time. Spirit of the Bear was changed this season to feed us grenade energy instead of super energy. This gives our shield Viagra, allowing us to keep that shield up as long as we are tanking damage. It's great having one of these on your team as it allows your allies to really sack up and get aggro, because if they go down, they're an easy res no matter how deep into the muck they might be. When releasing our shield input, it releases a frontal blast from your shield that deals increased damage based on how much damage we have blocked. Got some pro cons though, as combatants that come in contact with your shield are temporarily disorientated. Whilst this can stop them from getting up behind you to pop shots at you from behind, you won't be tanking as much damage as they won't be shooting at you. Now, the shield I thought could pretty much tank everything. Turns out though, my ass was wrong, as the suppressed grenade from our Lucent Knights will knock your ass out of it. Now you cats only need one guess what melee option we're rocking, as let's face it, despite the changes to ignition, Consecration still hurts more than a Jandal Slap. We're still rocking that Frenzied Blade so we can go trips deep, and with Facet of Ruin to increase the area of effect of our solar ignitions. Now the key to abusing it is of course getting that Transcendence up as often as possible. Not only does this allow us to throw out melees and suspend those foes in those green gimp ropes with those jumper cables hooked up to their nips, but it'll also increase our kinetic damage by 5%. Now I'm rocking Spirit of Sythnoceps, but I'd love to hear what you guys are getting in terms of damage numbers for this, as both my super and my melee numbers are feeling a little bit wonky. The Synthos are meant to increase our melees by 165%. A base Frenzied Blade hits with 27k, but for some reason with biotic enhancements, I'm now heading for 72k. That's a 265% increase, which, don't get me wrong, I love, but it seems wrong. When it comes to our super, I would either recommend using the Blade Fury or the Glacial Quake. They'll help balance out our Transcendence. They're both roaming supers, so we've got plenty of uptime with them. They're both unstop, and they can really slow down the rate at which enemies are attacking you and your allies. For some reason though, I'm not getting biotic enhancement damage whilst in my super. So if any of you guys are finding issues, or I've just got my wires crossed with this, please holler at me, I'd love to know. We're rocking Facet of Grace, so we defeat targets with our kinetic weapons, and this is going to grant us bonus Transcendent energy. Whenever I'm rocking a glaive, I always had this fragment equipped, as outside of Kvostov, nothing really builds Transcendence faster. I'm also loving that new Strand Glaive in the top slot, the Refusal of the Call. This is acquired from that new Court of Oryx. And thanks to our Sythnoceps, this gets a 100% melee damage increase. Now it does have tons of great perks like melee momentum, disruption break, tilting and replenishing. Main thing on the Titan build that I found was working for me though was close to melee. We get a glaive projectile upon a blow, then we get 10 seconds melee damage at 30% bonus. And every subsequent hit that pushes back that timer out to 10 seconds. We just need that one easy pew pew and then we can just slice away. Hold the line is going to allow us to play balls out, as we're going to gain increased reload speed and stability, and final blows are going to heal us while surrounded. We pair that with no bell, we just need to block a little damage and then we get 6 seconds of another 50% melee damage bonus. As it's also strand, we can rock those unraveling orbs, so when we pick up an orb of power or a tangle, it's going to grant our strand weapons unraveling rounds. At launch of Act 2, we got that Elemental Siphon in the artifact, so rapid final blows with kinetic weapons, or a weapon matching our super, is going to grant us an elemental pickup. In this case, it's a tangle, so we're able to keep that unravel topped up. So as our targets are unraveled, we just slash away. Horde Shuttle is going to spawn a bunch of minions to dogpile on your enemies. I also run Awakening, so our rapid final blows will generate elemental pickups. This kit generally makes 2 of them. Tangles to make us more unravel, or fire sprites from our Consecration Slams, which is going to feed us back a third of our grenade charge so we can block more of the mess. With balance, when we rapidly defeat targets with light, we get 10% melee energy. When we rapidly defeat with darkness damage, we're going to get 10% grenade energy. Now there is one weakness in running this Unbreakable on the Pris Titan, and it's that we don't have that knockout aspect. Now the additional damage that knockout gives you, I can live without, but I do miss those health bumps. In order to mitigate this as best we can, we still need Bastard of Blessing, so our melee final blows are going to begin health regeneration, and yes, this does include our glaive kills. No doubt we're rocking 100 Resil to get that 30% damage resist. We're using Faceted Protection to give us 15% damage resist while surrounded, and this increases when Transcendent to 32% DR. I'm rocking 1 Recuperation mod on my kicks to give us a bump of health whenever I pick up an Orb of Power. I'm rocking double heavy-handed mods on my gauntlets so we can make an Orb of Power every 5 seconds. As I want this kit to be a bit of an all-rounder both in terms of defense and offense, I also want to be to tackle all champs. The GM last week gave us a new Void Special sidearm. I got it, I love it, but for me I'm still favouring that Buried Bloodline. It's got greater velocity, which means things go down in real time, and it both weakens and gives us access to Devour to keep us in that fight for longer when our butts are puckered. For a heavy option, I would either go a Strand or Void LMG in order to make the most of our artifacts toys that we are already rocking. I like that commemoration so I can double dip on that Volatile Marksman, giving us easy volatile rounds just by landing a few crits to add even more area of effect damage. With Heavy Ordnance, I can gain a times 2 damage resist whilst applying damage, and it's going to increase our grenade and melee regeneration for a short time. With that glaive, sidearm, LMG combo, we've got all our champs covered, so I'm definitely running that Defibrillating Blast to give us those bolt charges on stuns, and Flash to get us to that 55k damage mark. Now feel free to pause here for my mods, fragments, and artifacts, but there will be a dim link in the description down below. I wanted to make this build as a lot of you were finding it hard to go back to those OG subclasses when we have access to all the toys that Prismatic can offer us. Personally though, I do still feel the Void 3.0 is stronger when running with a fire team that you're communicating with, and it has a more seamless way of healing ourselves both through volatile explosions and Devour. But where the Prismatic Titan thrives is in its offense, so it might be a better pick if you're in an LFG or something. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below, particularly about your Sythnoceps. Are they bugging out for you? Make sure to thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.